Welcome back to Rev Radar TV. Today we've got something a little different from the usual sport bikes and naked machine, as it's a ride steeped in heritage, style, and character. We're talking about the 2026 Kawasaki W800 Special Edition, a bike that looks back while still riding forward. I'll walk you through its key features, performance aspects, design elements, pricing and unique selling points, so by the end you'll know exactly why this bike could fit your garage. Let's start right off with the price. For the US market, the base W800, non-special edition, for 2026 lists at $10,699 per Kawasaki's official site. Some listings for the special edition version cite about $11,999. So while the special edition adds incremental cost, you're not looking at a massive premium beyond what the base model brings. In the Pakistani market, an approximation for the 2026 W800 ABS is quoted around PKR 3,056,900. Of course, local taxes, duties and import costs will vary, so use that as a ballpark. Now, moving into the engine and performance, the W800 uses a 773cc vertical twin engine with a bevel-gear driven camshaft and SOC 4 valve heads, tuned for low to mid-range performance and strong torque delivery rather than outright high RPM power. The ethos here is classic, a relaxed, usable character rather than chasing peak horsepower numbers. The result is a smooth, refined engine note and ride-feel. Think vintage vibe with modern reliability. Braking and chassis features, the W800 includes ABS brakes as standard for 2026, at least in many jurisdictions, and packs a 320mm front disc and 270mm rear disc for stopping power. Suspension-wise, you'll find a 41mm fork up front and dual rear shock absorbers with adjustable spring preload, again nodding to the classic styling while offering legitimate ride comfort and stability. The handling is calm, composed, ideal for urban rides or relaxed country roads, rather than aggressive sport riding, but that's exactly what many riders of this style want. Let's talk about design and aesthetics, because here is where the W800 Special Edition really shines. From the tank shape to the twin exhausts, from the retro instrumentation to the wire spoke wheels, depending on market, this bike carries a strong vintage flavor. It is a continuation of Kawasaki's W series heritage, tracing back to the W1 in the 1960s. For the 2026 model, color and graphics updates were introduced. For example, new paint schemes like pearl crystal white or metallic deep blue, while retaining the same underlying mechanical package. The special edition label usually means extra touches, contrasting finishes, unique tank badges, possibly special seat material, premium paint or trim finishes. These subtle cues elevate the bike's character beyond the standard. The ergonomics are designer intentional: an upright, relaxed riding position, wide bars, the seat height around 790mm in many markets, making it accessible for a broad range of riders. The instruments combine a round, classic analog look with a small digital insert for modern readouts, so you don't lose the vintage feel but still get the convenience of modern amenities. The muffler design in particular is tuned to deliver the mellow twin sound that many retro fans appreciate. Let's talk in-ride impressions. On the road, the W800 behaves like a relaxed classic with modern performance. You fire it up, there's a pleasing thunk from the vertical twin, smooth transitions through the gearbox, and when you roll on the throttle you feel a clean, controllable surge rather than a wild blast. The mid-range torque means you don't need to rev high to make progress. Urban stop and go, easy. Twisty back road, pleasant. If you push it hard, you won't beat Superbike, but that isn't the game. You're riding with style, presence and comfort. Braking is confident thanks to ABS and decent disc suspension soaks up uneven surfaces better than many vintage-look bikes, and ergonomics keep you comfortable for longer rides. The ride isn't razor-sharp, but again, purposefully so. On the design front, the special paint, the tank badge, the side covers, the chrome or polished finishes, depending market, all contribute to a premium feeling. The exhausts flank cleanly, the engine case is polished, the tank shape classic. It draws attention not for aggressive styling, but for timeless elegance. In traffic you'll appreciate the usable seat height and the manageable weight at idle. That twin engine quietly hums, delivering character that more modern, higher rev sport engines can lack. Now, any drawbacks? For one, if you're used to high-end sport bikes with twin-digit power and ultra-aggressive handling, this isn't your track weapon. The throttle mapping is smooth rather than sharp, the 5-speed gearbox, some markets, rather than 6, and the weight may be slightly higher than some modern minimal bikes. Also, some riders might wish for more technology, ride modes, traction control, etc., which this bike largely omits in favor of simplicity. But for many riders that's a plus, not a minus: less complexity, more character.